Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Highly Taken podcast. Friday episode. David back again on the floor, Tallahassee, Florida.
Hey, Nick back at you in Jacksonville. Currently raining his ass off over here. Hey, let's get it.
All right, well, I guess it's the weekend episode, so we can do, a little Gone in 60 Seconds. Again, going to be more of a rant. And I think this is a topic that we need to address more. I want to talk about Philly media, specifically Philly media right now. I think it was Mike Schmidt who once said, Philly is the only place you can feel the thrill of victory and then the agony of reading about it the next day. Now, if you don't know what's going on right now, for some reason, the Philly media, especially 94 WIP, is going after A.J. Brown, saying a bunch of crap about A.J. Brown right now. And we're talking about a guy who, in the first 2 seasons with the Eagles, has broken the receiving yards record twice and has been over 7+ touchdowns in both years. And we're wanting to, for some reason, talk crap about that. But I feel like as long as I've been a Philly fan, the media has left a very bad taste in the mouth of a lot of people. And sometimes I feel like it's one of the big reasons that people don't want to come back or don't even want to re-sign when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're at that moment right now where we really don't have sports, right? The only thing we really have right now is basketball. And so they're running out of things to talk about. Now, I will say, what I heard sounds crazy, and I hope it's not true. I heard something happened with someone, allegedly their girlfriend and one other person in the locker room, and one of the players. And that's probably a rumor. I don't think that's true. But they're making it seem like it's someone that has to do with someone like one of our big players, right?
Right.
And WIP, from what I can remember, even as a kid, man, they love spreading hate out there. They love it. They live off of it. And, unfortunately, they're going after A.J. Brown, and I don't agree with this. Why are you going to stir up someone that felt like they could have done better this year and still had a great season? Like, I don't know why they're doing it. You don't need to be going after one of our superstars like that. And
right.
I agree. I think it's stupid that they did that.
It's just, I don't know. It's, I guess, I've always talked about how, growing up with, Eagles fans as family members, like, you sit there through a game and, Andy Reid could have just taken you to the Super Bowl. And then, if he has one bad year, I'm hearing, oh, Andy Reid sucks. Let's get rid of this dude. And, now Andy Reid's out here. Andy Reid, he needed to change his senior anyway, but Andy Reid's out here with 3 Super Bowl rings now in the last 4 years. But yeah, I don't know. It's
crazy to think of.
It's just the Philly media sometimes gets upset because I don't want to lose players because they don't feel like they want to come back here. Because the fans, it's funny because the fans realize this too, but for some reason these big news companies like WIP is still still on it. I think they know the crap they say just gets gets publicity, and they think any publicity is good publicity, no matter if it's bad or not.
Yeah, I mean, good publicity only takes you so far, right? Bad publicity, that goes everywhere, man. Now everyone starts reporting about it. So, that's why they're more on the let's go after the bad than the good. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. And, live to see another day. Now, I did like what you had to say earlier when you were talking 30 mil cap boost is what I'm hearing, right? Man, we could do a lot of damage. Eagles could do a lot of damage with that 30 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's at 30.6. I'm not sure that $600,000 can do much, but yeah, I mean, it's huge for anybody in the market, especially with a market that's flooded with good talent right now on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Good news if you're a Bengals fan, if you want to try to get T. Higgins back for a longer contract too. But I'm more worried about what's going to do for the QB market with how Daniel Jones was last year, how much he got paid, and you have people like Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy who are going to be looking for an extension here sometime soon.
Yeah, right. I think Dak's gonna probably want an extension. Man, after he had a great season. Mm-hmm. He could have easily. If I had a 1 and 2 that I think should have been MVP, it would have been McCaffrey. And then honestly, the way Dak played, I would have put Dak in there for the regular season. Right. Because if you're gonna say, it's like talking about playoff stats. Lamar Jackson's playoff stats were not that great. against the Chiefs. So
his regular season stats when they're great. We have a quarterback who just got an MVP when he was like 15th in passing yards, 12th in passing touchdowns, and like 9th in I forget what the other stat was, like 9th and some other stat.
Hey, we gave it to an MVP. I think this is the mediocre player of the year. You know, he did what he was supposed to do and is getting benefits off
with the number one defense.
Yeah, and you know, if anything, that defense should have been the MVP, not them, man, not him. Lamar did not deserve it, but I think Dak. I think if he doesn't get it this year, we'll get it next year. But I think they still have to sign CeeDee Lamb too, don't they?
They probably have to sign CeeDee Lamb at some point. I'm not sure if Diggs has gotten his money yet. You also have was it Bland, the cornerback who's doing pretty well. Micah Parsons at some point is going to have to get paid more, and so you wonder what they're going to do with these players. I mean, the Cowboys in theory have a good team, but they like to throw money around where it doesn't need to be thrown around to. So it's going to be interesting to see if Dak doesn't get extended this year, if he ends up back next year.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot. They got a lot going on, and I don't know how much space they're going to have to keep these superstars, man. I'm really hoping Micah Parsons falls into an Eagles uniform, man, comes to play for his hometown team, you know. And so, I don't know. Thank you.
What'd you get?
Man, so because I've been fasting, I only drink black coffee. So that's the only thing I can drink right now. But hey, on a good note, I'm down almost 20 pounds. So
there you go.
That's a plus. But yeah, shout out Dunkin', man. They have a decent black coffee, probably because it's watered down, but it's decent nonetheless.
Yeah, and I guess there's not, like you said, there's not much NFL news going on right now. The season have ended like 2 weeks ago. But I guess right now what we can talk about is, the reports that Fields unfollowed the Bears the other day, and then went to go follow Drake London, Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. I mean, how much should we really be looking into how many what people are following on social media right now?
I mean, that's crazy, right? I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. You know, they're making it seem like they want to get rid of him. And in my eyes, and you know how I am, I'm not a huge Fields fan. I wasn't a huge Fields fan. But to say that he doesn't get an opportunity based off of what he had and talent-wise, I think he put up decent numbers this year. And you're not going to give him an opportunity. And, you know, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for doing that. It's petty, but his personality is like that too. So I'm not surprised he did something like that. But does he go to Atlanta? I don't think he goes to Atlanta. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like QBs that are on the market right now that we don't know how it's going to go down. I mean, we have, obviously Baker Mayfield being a big one, just gone to the playoffs. Kirk Cousins is a big one. He's a free agent this year, hasn't signed any deal. That'll be interesting to see where he goes. Obviously, Justin Fields is under contract, but there's a good chance that the Bears may go ahead and trade him. And, they have the number one pick and go draft Caleb Williams or do whatever they want with that. But I don't know. I feel like it's weird that people are sitting there watching people's social medias to see when they're going to follow or unfollow somebody. Like that, somebody was waiting for that to happen. And they're like, "Oh, he unfollowed the Bears. Let's go." Like it's just odd. I agree. I don't think we should be looking into who they follow, who they don't follow. It's truthfully just kind of stupid that we're sitting here just staring at somebody's Instagram, wondering when they're going to unfollow something. But that's where we're at in media nowadays. That's how slow it is. And when NFL season's done, I just don't know what the Bears are going to do with this pick, truthfully. And I mean, we still have about 2 months now to figure out what's going to happen, but I really don't know what's going on through their minds.
I mean, dude, I've seen it. I mean, Bears fans think he deserves a chance. My buddy, he's from Chicago. His family, they're huge Bears fans, and they feel like he's being disrespected, and I agree. The guy, you don't have an offensive line. You finally gave him a weapon, and look what happened. DJ Moore was great. Now imagine if you add Harrison to that mix, man. I mean, you're just too stupid not to give him a chance. He is your dual threat quarterback. I've seen him. He can throw some crazy passes, but again, I don't know what's going on in the Bears organization right now. They need to figure it out. And unfortunately, I think they're going to go ahead and kill them, shoot themselves in the foot again and ruin their draft picks that they're going to have. And they're going to rebuild again. To me, it sounds like they're going to rebuild again.
It would be truthfully dumb if they did. I mean, having the 1 and the 9 and the 10, I think 1 and 10, 1 and 9, whatever pick they have right now. And then you have a quarterback who is a committable quarterback enough to start. You can go ahead and build pieces. If you want to move back, there's people who want that one spot really badly. The Patriots will probably want that one spot. The Cardinals may want that one spot. And then the other team who wants the one spot? The Commanders, right? The Commanders may want to trade up for that one spot as well. So you have a lot of people who want to get that one spot, and it's just, you have the availability to go out there and try to get more capital for some spots and still get who you want to get. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, here's the worst case scenario. Should they get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yes. But let's say they trade back to 4 and somebody gets him before they can get to him. They at least get more capital and they can go get Napiers from LSU. Like, it's not like it would be like the end of the world to not get Marvin Harrison Jr. when you can still keep a quarterback who is decent enough to play and then add some more capital with that. You still have the 9th or 10th pick, and then you probably get a future pick for that. So I don't know. The Bears are in an interesting situation. I've been very verbal about how I think they should stick with Fields. Is a little biased from my Ohio State, maybe, but also I feel like it'd be the smart decision to stick with the guy who has had 2 decent seasons with a pretty bad team around him.
No, absolutely. I am unbiased. I mean, you're biased. I'm unbiased, and I'm saying that they're stupid for not keeping him. It's dumb that they want to pursue this without him, and I just don't. At this point, I feel like they need to come. The GM needs to be fired or put on the hot seat here. I mean, the fact that you're not going to double down and say, no, this is our quarterback, that's nuts to me, man. You need to make sure that you're making him feel comfortable. And he's apparently on Twitter has proven that he doesn't feel comfortable where he's at. So I don't know. I guess they'll figure it out. I don't really care that much. That division, the way I'm seeing it right now, it's weird, man. Detroit and Green Bay going back and forth.
Right.
It's going to be weird because Minnesota doesn't have a quarterback right now. Are they drafting one?
Yeah, who they draft too? They would have to get maybe Bo Nix there at the end. JJ McCarthy maybe.
I mean, Bo Nix honestly, Bo Nix is not a bad option in my opinion. I think that's not a bad steal. I think he'd be a good quarterback. But, I don't know. Why not just stick with Kirk, man? I know he's getting old. You can still draft a quarterback and build them. But no, nobody wants to do that.
It just depends how much money Kirk's going to want. So that's going to be the interesting thing. I mean, I guess in other news, Major League Baseball officially started yesterday. We had our first preseason game, or first spring training game. Dodgers-Padres started with the Dodgers putting up 8 runs in the first inning. They ended up winning against the Padres 14-1. Oddly enough, only 1 home run from the Dodgers all game, and they scored 14 runs. So, Dodgers being the Dodgers, Padres being the Padres, I guess.
And no, isn't that crazy, man? It's nuts. Dude, what are you doing, man? It's your tricycle.
But
the things you see. It's nuts. I had a lot of hope for the Phillies last year. Based on what I'm seeing with the Dodgers, they don't have a chance, man. Not unless they do something that is some crazy. I feel like there's still someone in free agency that they can sign super cheap.
Yeah, Bauer's still there. Even Snell is still there. So it's like, and we can see that when it comes to what the Dodgers are doing, we can just start deferring payments too. Why not? But you have guys that are out there. Bauer can be a cheap starter. You can put in the rotation. Snell, you can put in the rotation. I mean, even Cody Bellinger still has not signed to a team yet. So there's a big name that's still there that hasn't gone anywhere. So it'd be kind of interesting to see where these guys end up and how long are they going to wait out until they actually sign with the team is my big question, because we're already at spring training and these guys haven't been signed to a deal yet.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they probably still have another couple weeks before spring training really kicks off. You know, so really kicks off the beginning of March. Um, what I would like to see, and I really would love to see this. Let's make our team an All-American team. So that way, when we play the Dodgers, now that they have all these Japanese and Asians playing, we go out there and destroy them with our American team. We drop a bomb on them.
You sound like the type of guy who went out and bought the like $399 Trump shoes.
No, it's still motivated to even compete. I don't even know if compete right now. They extended Wheeler. That's great.
You got Nola,
but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is like I want to know why. The biggest question that hasn't been answered to me is why Walker wasn't started at all during the postseason last year. I mean, he was like what, but 15-9, something like that last year. 3.4 points in the ERA, and he didn't start a single postseason game. And you started wondering like why. I mean, he had a pretty decent year with like 15. I think it was 15-6. It was 15-6, and he still didn't get a single start in the postseason. So I don't know. It's odd to me. I feel like they have the talent. They just need the pitching, especially in the bullpen. And that's just been the issue, for as long as I can remember, that they have had no bullpen.
I mean, I thought, they had 2 years to win a World Series with this team. And unfortunately, like I said, what I've seen with the Dodgers, I think that kind of taken that away. But things could change. You never know. Dodgers could do what the Dodgers do best in the postseason, and I hope they do.
Right.
But that team is so stacked, dude. It's so hard to think. Luckily, this is the year Shohei can't pitch, so they can kind of take advantage of the fact that he can't pitch. I don't know, man. I've heard some talks about Casty and things like that. I don't know what you add. I don't know what you add on offense here that really needs to be added. It's just pitching. It's just bullpen. Bullpen is really all that needs to be touched. And they haven't. They really haven't. They haven't touched it at all. So, unfortunately, I think the Braves are probably going to win that division again. And I think Utley agrees too.
You agree, Utley? But yeah, also, I don't know if you saw, but they released MLB released their ranking the top 10 players that they have so far this year. And it's very interesting. So at number 10, they have Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners. Then you have Garrett Cole, obviously the Yankees pitcher. Jordan Alvarez from the Astros. At 7, they have Juan Soto, another Yankee. They have Corey Seager at 6, Freddie Freeman at 5, Ohtani at 4, Aaron Judge at 3, Mookie at 2, and then Ronald Acuna Jr. at 1.
I need you to go through this and see who is in charge of these rankings and let me know if they're a Yankee fan or not, because this is dumb. Aaron Judge gets ranked that high based on what? What did he do last year that was mind-blowing?
Yeah, I'm just more shocked. Now, Harper was at 11. Not you, Harper. He just missed by 11. Trout was 12.
Okay, but he had a better season than Judge.
Judge was also hurt.
I mean, he had I don't.
Really, Judge also hurt a while.
You know what? Harper was hurt too.
Yeah.
Harper was hurt too. I don't agree with this. I think this was favoritism at its finest. Shohei at number 4 seems a little odd to me, in all honesty. Just doesn't make sense why he'd be number 4.
Yeah. Well, especially when you have Aaron Judge. I mean, they put Aaron Judge at 3. I can understand Harper. Come on. I can understand you putting maybe Mookie and Acuna up there because they were both 1 and 2 and NL MVP voting, but Aaron Judge up there makes no sense to me. And did Ohtani end up winning AL MVP last year? Who won it? He did. Yeah, and so you have him at 4, and why? Because he can't pitch this year. Is that the reason why he's not going to? It makes no sense to me. And he still is, I would argue, the best player in baseball. Maybe second. If you can argue, Acuna probably is one of the best players in baseball too. But
That dude is quick, man.
I
That
mean,
dude
you're
is quick.
hitting over 40 home runs and stealing 40 bases. That's kind of hard to do nowadays. I don't know. I just feel like you put Aaron Judge, you put all those Yankees in there to get those Yankee fans all hype and happy just for them to become fourth place in the division again like they were last year. So I don't know. Will they have a better year this year? Probably. They got Stroman, so that's probably, Stroman and Cole are probably two top 10 pitchers in baseball. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to me what they truthfully end up doing with this team. But I didn't like the rankings. I mean, having Harper at 11, I thought was crazy. Trout, I can see being out of the top 10 just because he can't stay healthy anymore. But it's just, I don't know. It was interesting to me. How much time do you have left?
Probably about 5 minutes.
Are we wanting to try to do dubs and chugs? Or are we just gonna?
We're gonna have to take a little break from that. What I'm gonna do is when we can get some time. Obviously, I'm working and training a new system and stuff, so it makes it a little harder. We'll get to it. We'll do some dubs and chugs. We got March Madness coming up, and I really want to make sure. I want to do a bracket with you two. So I want to sit down and go through it and what we think when it releases, who we think's going to win, and things like that.
Yeah. And like I was talking,
that'd be fun. We'll save it for that.
Yeah, and I was talking to Christian because I also, with the baseball season started, I want to do some, like we do with the football, with our predictions and stuff, how we think the season's going to go and all that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to kind of do that stuff. Like, if worse comes to worse, I'll have to do it with you guys split between 2 episodes, which would stink. You don't have to start the show, which would stink. But like, I want to be able to start doing predictions like top 10 for players, and it'll be more fun to start doing that kind of stuff, especially since there's no football and we won't really have much to cover until draft day.
It sucks. Football, come back. Please.
We have the the United Football League, UFL now, where they combined the USFL and the XFL.
No, I'm good. I don't need that.
I gotta pay attention to the Battlehawks. I gotta make sure the
Battlehawks. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm a Battlehawks fan, but I mean that's not like pressing by any means. I'm not gonna go. I'm wasting my day so I can watch them. I'm not doing anything just to watch that. I'm sorry. It's not the NFL. I'm not married to it like I am, the NFL. So it'll be fun, to catch a few games here and there.
I want to catch some hockey games at some point.
Basketball. Yeah. Well, I will say, because I want to talk to you. That night that you said Flyers were going to beat the Devils 6-2. How did that turn out for you?
Didn't turn out well.
That didn't happen.
Flyers are now, I want to say 1-4-1 in outdoor games now. Maybe they should stop playing outdoor games.
I love the Winter Classic though, and I know a lot of people do. Winter Classic is one of the best things to watch, man. Outdoor games, nothing's better. Now it sucks as fans, right? Because it's cold out there in some of those cities, but the atmosphere, you get yourself coffee and Baileys, or you get yourself a beer. Like, hopefully it doesn't freeze like it does in Green Bay or wherever it was. It wasn't Green Bay; it was Kansas City. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, nonetheless, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, but like I said, hopefully we can get the schedule stuff somehow figured out. I'd love to be able to get 2 people on more than an episode. I was joking around last week. I was like, it's becoming the point where it's like the Hot Taking Podcast, which is me and my special guest, either Nick or Christian, that shows up maybe. So it's
yeah, it sucks right now, right? I mean, there's nothing that we can do. Christian had to quit his old job to start a new one. In my opinion, he shouldn't. Christian, if you're reading this, I think what you did was kind of dumb, quitting that job. So if you hear this, but nonetheless, you got another job right off the bat. So that's, at least you got that.
Now episodes are just figure that out. Becoming people firing shots at each other every other episode too. Now no one's here to defend themselves. We're just having to be like, oh yeah, you're watching this. We know Christian's not watching this.
No.
We talked about last time.
I told him to watch the one episode where we bashed him, and he only got to the point where we did the I forget what it was, but we did something, and he saw that, and then he was like, all right, and then he didn't even go to the point where we bashed him. Like we would have known that he saw that because he would have said something, but he definitely did it. So I'm gonna have to piece that together for him.
Well, I don't think we have much to talk about. You don't have much time, so I think we can go ahead and just end it for the weekend here. You enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
I'll be hitting the links. Everybody else, we got basketball this weekend. You know, we're getting really close to March Madness. This is a make or break games. It's gonna be fun. Yep. Sit down, relax, do what you do best, whatever that is. Enjoy it. Have a great weekend.
And I will see you on Monday. Not you, but you.
Yeah. Deuces,
man. See ya. All right, I guess since he's gone, I have a little bit more to talk about. I wanted to, because obviously, these are short episodes. I kind of want to make these longer. Talk about some NBA real quick by myself. Let's talk about the Sixers right now. The Sixers are really, really disappointing, right? They have lost 10 of their last 13 games, and they're only now 1.5 games ahead of first place ahead of that first play-in spot. You have to talk about a team who's about a third seed before Embiid got hurt, and they have slowly started making their way down. With Embiid not there, what's the biggest issue with this team right now? Truthfully, I just don't think they know what their identity is. With a team with Embiid, their identity was, okay, we're going to feed him the ball, and hopefully when they suck in on Embiid, he's going to give it to somebody else, open shot, drive the lane. Maxey was driving the lane, doing well. Maxey's not playing terribly, but when you have a guy who's averaging 38 points a game, that's a lot of offense to make up for. And you're not going to make up for it by getting Buddy Hield and Cameron Payne and Kyle Lowry. And so what's interesting to me is what this team's going to do, and they need to find a secondary identity until Embiid gets back, because if not, they're going to see themselves playing in this play-in game, and who knows what's going to happen, especially with Embiid coming back from injury. These are, one game at a time type things. The trade deadline's over, and so what can they really do now? You got to start putting up wins or you're going to be screwed. Tonight they play a really good Cavs team. Now they beat this Cavs team before without Embiid a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago. And so take that way you may. I guess we'll see how things turn out. The Bucks are also struggling, though. We talked about it last time. They're 3-7 since the arrival of Doc Rivers, and they play the Timberwolves tonight, who are first place in the West. I hate to say that we told them so, because, Doc Rivers is Doc Rivers. We've seen it everywhere. This doesn't make teams better. And truthfully, when you're taking a team who has been like a top 3 seed every single year for the past 4, 5, 6 years, or however long it is, it's really hard to sit there and make that team better without making the personnel better. Now you have a coach who did really well for himself, but he somehow lost the locker room. Don't really know how that happened, but that's what they told us. And now you have a team who's struggling at 3-7. Now, obviously, you have Giannis, you have Dame, you have Milton, you have the team to turn it around, do whatever. It's crunch time now. They're going to have to figure it out, or else, the Celtics may just run away with the entire East, or we'll have to wait to see what the Miami Heat do when they make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, we'll see what Jimmy Buckets does in the playoffs. Now, I'm going to pick some games this week. Do this as you may. These are some good games I feel like are coming this week, and I kind of see my takes on these. So first, we have Bucks and Timberwolves this week. I told you Bucks have been struggling. You have the Timberwolves team, who's first place in the Western Conference. Right now, they're a 4.5-point favorites. And not only do I pick the Timberwolves to cover that spread, obviously they're going to win because I picked them to cover the spread, David. That's how the spread works. I picked the Timberwolves in that one. Another good game we have going on, we'll have the Suns versus the Rockets. And yes, the Rockets, they're a good team, believe it or not. Now, Phoenix is a 3.5-point favorite in this one. I would actually take the Rockets in this one, believe it or not. And then if I'm going to do a third one, let's do the Cavs-Sixers game. We're now Cleveland's 4.5. I think Cleveland will easily cover and win this game. I think there's going to be this may be another double-point win or loss for the 76ers. Again, I've been really struggling. This weekend, Celtics and Knicks should be a good game. Boston is a 6.5-point favorite. I actually like the Knicks to cover in this. Will they win? Who knows? I'll say yes, but I do expect them to at least cover a 6.5-point spread. They're pretty good. The Villanova Knicks are a really, really good team. We also have some really good games coming Saturday, especially when the conference plays coming in. We have the tournament starting soon, the actual conference tournaments, and that's going to be exciting. Big one, Houston Baylor, 11 Baylor versus the 2 Houston team. Houston has looked great this year. I think they get upset by the 11 team. I think Baylor takes this one. It's being played Waco. I believe that's where they play. And so I think they're going to win that game. You want some possible upsets this weekend? Sure, I can give you some possible upsets this weekend. I really think you need to watch out for Texas versus Kansas. I can see Texas pulling that upset off. You have Villanova and UConn. Don't be surprised if you see the number one UConn team go out against Villanova this weekend and lose. And if you're wanting another team gets shaken up, this is going to come as a surprise, but give me Texas A&M versus the 5th ranked Tennessee team. I know, again, another top 5, whatever. It's going to be interesting. I think it's a possibility this A&M team, they were ranked when the season started. They weren't bad. I think they could see themselves playing a decent game against the Tennessee team and maybe knocking them off. Now, when it comes to hockey, we don't get to talk about it that much. I'm kind of more the person who talks about hockey more. Now, Nick actually played hockey more than I did. But I mean, when it comes to games, you have a really good game coming on Saturday nights. You have the Rangers versus the Flyers. You have a team who is right now one of the best teams in the NHL at 79 points. But then the Flyers are, no pun intended, flying under the radar right now. 3rd in the Metropolitan. They are, I believe, they're 7-1-1 the last 9 games being played. So they've played a really good team. Tippett's doing well out there. Konechny's doing well out there. You love to see the team doing well, especially with what's going on with the whole Carter Hart situation. I like this game. It's being played in Philly, which is actually a bad thing because Philly has a worst record at home games than they do away this year. Give me the Flyers in this one. Home pick 100%, but I love the Flyers in this one. Nick, how about do Canadians and Devils? Canadians have been struggling this year. Devils haven't been doing that well, but Devils only 7 points back at that 3rd Metropolitan spot. They're really close to being in the wild card spot, which I believe the Lightning had the last one right there because Lightning have been playing bad this year. Even the Devils in this one, maybe they can make their way up there so they can get that last spot for you. But I don't really have much to talk about. So I will see you all in the next one. And again, thank you so much for watching. I will try to get them special back. See how this thing goes. But have a great weekend. Do whatever you want. Probably have to go play some games. But I got to clean house too. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
Analyzing every play like we was the champion. With witty banter and humor, we keep it fun. HTP fam, we always bring the number one. Highlight taking pockets, we taking over the scene. We drop dubs and chugs, living the sports dream. From hot takes to deep dive, it's a winning regime. Come join the hype, we not just blowing steam.